Now I know it's nighttime. You know what I mean? Getting out of work late. Now we got right here in the 805. So all the homies putting it down in the 805, representing. You know what I mean? Right here, like by the Simi Valley, Newbury Park, Newbury, Camarillo, all the areas over here. So we're gonna put it down for all the riders over here. You know what I mean? Now coming into the 805, and we'll be covering everything. But we're gonna be starting off with the riders over here. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm coming from the Valle, all the way over here. So the first neighborhood starting off right here. Let's get into it. So starting off with
Change my ways, pues that's something that I just won't do. Till death do us part, you'll catch me throwing in my hood. This life is full of drama, full of shit and never good. But we knew that coming in, so I got no excuse. La vida loca, this life's not made to be understood. Catch a rival slipping, homie, and he's getting hooked. But only if they active, homie, I go by the book. And remember, there's no such thing as a habit crook. They gang banging and retire on a day to day. But what a trip, homie, but that shit be looking strange. But that's it, never me, solid to my grave.
G-File.
also right here you have the Simi Valley neighborhood. That's SV or VSV. Barrios Simi Valley, not to be confused with Sun Valley. This is Simi Valley right here. This neighborhood's already been right here for a cool minute. Now, even though it's in Simi Valley, the larger neighborhood will be the West Side locals, but nonetheless, this neighborhood's still right there representing, holding it down. They with the business. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, now their neighborhood's right there. What's on Royal to Los Angeles to 5th, and all the way to 1st. So everything that's in the middle is what's considered their neighborhood, and they're really close to the West Side locals. Like literally, them guys are just neighbors. They're literally separated just by one street. They definitely be right there representing it and holding it down for their neighborhood. These guys ain't no chumps. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, even though West Lowe's might be bigger, this neighborhood still be right there representing it and holding their own and, putting their neighborhood right there on the map. You know what I'm saying? Representing for the Simi Valley, the 805, and, they get it cracking, and this neighborhood definitely be going at it with, like, surrounding neighborhoods, and it should be popping. Like I said, don't let the areas deceive you. The 805, homie, that shit be cracking, dog. Now, right here is the largest neighborhood in Simi Valley, even though there is a Simi Valley, but you have the West Side locals, which owns, they are the ones that, you definitely hear about, the one that's most known out this area. They got the largest territory that stretches out from 1st to Los Angeles Avenue, all the way to Sycamore, to Fitzgerald, and even by the Parque. This is their main chilling spot right there where they be holding it down. Though these West Side locals, ain't no joke, homie. They've been here already for a cool minute, representing, holding it down for their area. You know what I mean? And I was told that all West Side locals, run the same. So even the ones from San Diego, Los Angeles, and all of that. You know what I mean? But this is the ones in Simi Valley, and they definitely holding it down and putting it on the map. And this is not the last time you'll be hearing about West Side locals. I'm telling you, there's several branches, spread out. But this is the ones right here in Simi Valley, representing right there and going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods, and definitely a neighborhood you hear about. And these guys ain't no chumps, homie. Like, they keep it active and they kick it off right here, and they definitely representing it and putting it on the map, homie. I'll tell you that much. Shit gets on and popping right here. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homie right there, Scooby. Feed me, homie Chucky. It's another, Psycho. It's another one, or Sparky. Shout out to all the homies from Westside locals right there that be holding it down, representing, putting their hood on the map. You know what I mean? Down ass riders, and that's what's up with the West Los right there. And here we have the largest neighborhood, the Tucas neighborhood, right here in the Thousand Oaks. Is the area that they be representing and calling it their home and everything. Now, Tucas, it stands for Thousand Oaks, California Sureños, or Sur. You know what I mean? That's the abbreviation, so that's what it means. So they just like, California, they're pretty much representing everything and where they're from. Thousand Oaks is with the TO, and then the California CA, and then, the Sur is the S, you know what I mean? So that's what it stands for. It's not a street or it's not a park like I was seeing people mention. There's no area right there that's, called like that. So it's pretty much Thousand Oaks, Cali, pues, Sur neighborhood. Heavily beefing it with like Houston Hood and Conejo Valley is their their main rivals right there. especially Thousand Oaks and Conejo Valley. Definitely heavy beef between those two neighborhoods. You know what I mean? There's definitely some bad blood between them, and it'd be crazy. Now, this neighborhood is right there where it's the Parque de La Plaza. So in that park, La Plaza is where you can find them on Thunderbird. Is where their neighborhood's at. You know what I mean? And this neighborhood's definitely deep. They definitely be doing their thing and representing right there. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chumps. And I know people think that Thousand Oaks, oh, it's a nice area. Yeah, they ain't no hoods no over here, or they can't be that with it or whatever. Like, nah, homie, these neighborhoods are large and they get it cracking, homie. I mean, they made the news several times already. Law enforcement, definitely be having a hard time, combating these neighborhoods. And the crime rate is high. The area looks nice and all of that, but the crime rate tells a whole different story. You know what I mean? So it definitely be cracking, even though like you read. The thing is that these neighborhoods over here, they don't tag like a lot. Like they don't hit up like on walls a lot. You know what I mean? It's more about them going in dumping and robbing and and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So the area in itself doesn't look bad, but like I said, you can't underestimate that. You know what I mean? Don't judge a book by its cover. It should be cracking. But that's what's up with the Tucas neighborhood right here representing. And here also we have Houston Hood. Houston being right here by Hillcrest Drive and Page Lane and Benson Way. It's a small neighborhood. Their territory's small. They always been a small neighborhood. Roughly, I was told roughly like about 80, 60 heads. Newish. Because they haven't really been there that long. Right there in Thousand Oaks. Going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods, like their worst rivals would probably have to be the Thousand Oaks neighborhood. The but they be right there still representing, holding their own, going at it, and putting their neighborhood on the map right there, the Houston Hood. And yeah, that's what's up with them right there, just representing and putting it on the map. Now, right here in Newbury Park, you have the Conejo Valley Locals, CVLS, not to be confused with um, Carmelia Barrio Locals or Compton Barrio Locals or any of the other neighborhoods that put CVLS, Corona Barrio Locals. This is Conejo Valley Locals. You know what I mean? Now you can find their neighborhood of what's right there on Hillcrest and Pauling Drive is where their neighborhood's at. Right here in Newbury Park, and yeah, this neighborhood, it's roughly small. But it is old school. You know what I mean? But they just never really had that many numbers. Just the area. It's nice. It's a little. It takes some kind of money to live right here. You know what I mean? So recruitment, is awfully difficult. But nonetheless, the riders that they do got, hey, they with it, homie, and you hear about them, and they definitely be putting their neighborhood on the map. These guys ain't no chumps, no pushovers, and they're right here representing it and holding it down for their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Representing right there. Now, right here in Camarillo, you got Berry Street. Now, Berry Street is the neighborhood that's, well known right here in Camarillo. You know what I mean? Even though the area looks nice and lovely, and people say, nah, there can't be no neighborhoods right there. I mean, like I said, looks deceive, homie. It should be cracking everywhere. You know what I mean? They got their riders, they got their solid gente that be doing jales. You know what I mean? Well known by law enforcement. For their ruckus that they be causing right there. They be giving law enforcement a hard time. Now this neighborhood, Berry Street, stays right there on Berry and what's um Nolora, I think is the name of the street, Nolora, and Fulton and Glen and Berry. So throughout all that area was known as the Berry Street neighborhood. Um, and like I said, the area does look nice. I ain't gonna lie, the area does look nice, and it does look pretty cool right here. But like I said, homie, I mean, like you got these murders, you got these, getting arrested, you got the crime rate sky high. I mean, the proof is all right there, homie. I mean, that shit don't lie. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what's up with this neighborhood, and they definitely putting it on the map and right there representing. Now, another neighborhood right here that you have in Camarillo is the NSK neighborhood. Now, NSK is a tagging crew that became a neighborhood, so that's what they say, that's what they write. I can't confirm that. You know what I mean? Um, Now, what I was told is that this neighborhood is small. It's roughly new, obviously, because it used to be a crew. But it was a pretty large and active crew right there in Camarillo, going at it with neighborhoods too. You know what I mean? So this neighborhood, well, this, because that's what they claim, but I can't confirm. Stood their ground. Weren't letting themselves. Even though you have gang members trying to like come and trying to like smash on them. They stood their ground. Uh, and even did crimes themselves, and like stood, hold their own, homie. And even though they were a crew, homie, like they were not, no chumps. So now this neighborhood, it stands for notorious criminals, is what I was told. But yeah, the notorious society right there. But yeah, that's NSK right there, and holding it down for their neighborhood, and representing it, and putting it on the map. You know what I mean? These fools, they ain't no chumps. Like I said, they ain't no pushovers. Even though neighbors were trying to come and tell them what's up, I mean, they didn't let them. So that's what's up with them. Here also you have the Moore Park locals. Now MPLS, it's right here on Moore Park. Obviously, you know what I mean. Another area where people think that is nice, and that nothing be cracking. But this neighborhood is definitely with the business. They're already old school, heavily rooted. They pretty much run the whole city. You know what I mean. Definitely be busting crimes. As a matter of fact, this neighborhood also made the news several times. You can look it up. Busted for racketeering, arms sale, drug sale. They get it popping, homie. You know what I'm saying. This neighborhood definitely has their riders, that are with the business. That be putting in work. These guys ain't no chumps. Shout out to the homie Chewy, firme camarada right there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Vampy. That's another firme. Oh, the homie Grande right there too. That fool's firme. They got a gang of riders, and they be right there representing and putting their neighborhood on the map. So as that MPLS, so not to be confused with Maple locals. You know what I mean? This is its own separate neighborhood. You know what I mean? Now their neighborhood is what right there. What's Spring Road, to Charlotte Street, to Moore Park Avenue, to Los Angeles Avenue. So everything that's in the middle is their neighborhood. Like I said, homie, they be going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods, and definitely putting their neighborhood on the map. You know what I mean? This is one neighborhood that are no chums. I mean, you come over here tripping. I mean, shit, they gonna get it sparking. You know what I mean? This is one neighborhood not to be. That's what, like I said, they're large in numbers because obviously old school, right? They're heavily rooted into their community there. You know what I mean? They run the whole city right there, the whole shebang. But that's what's up with the Mirror Park locals right there, still representing, still holding it strong, and putting their neighborhood on the map. You know what I mean? Now here's the Sumas area. Uh, couldn't really get that much info on these guys, just that they're right there on Bell to Rice and North, and Summers obviously. So in the middles was their neighborhood, but can't really get that many details on them. Only that they were old school, always small. But yeah, that's what's up with their neighborhood.